With regard to the mitzvah of Bikurim, the Torah tells us that it wasn't enough for the Jew to simply bring his Bikurim to the Beis HaMikdash and present it to the Kohen. In doing so, he had to actually verbally articulate his gratitude to Hashem for all the blessings that Hashem had blessed him with in his life. V'yomarto elov, and you, says the Pasuk, shall say to him, the Kohen, tell him, says Rashi, that you're not a kfui toiva, that you're not taking Hashem's blessings for granted. And that in addition to actually bringing the Bikurim, the Jew would actually articulate all the things that he's grateful to Hashem for. And he would go right back to the beginning of Jewish history and tell the story of Yaakov Avinu facing Lavan and how he survived and how the Jews began from a single family or a single individual to a family of 12 Shvatim, and from there to a family of 70, and from there to all the Jews who had left Mitzrayim and come to Eretz Yisrael. Vayotzienu Hashem Mitzrayim, the Jew would say, Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim, Yod Chazaka, with a great hand and an outstretched arm and great miracles. Vayivienu el hamokim hazeh, says the Jew. Hashem has brought us to this place and given us this land, the land of Eretz Yisrael, a land, of course, flowing with milk and honey. El hamokim hazeh, this place, says Rashi. What is this place referring to? It's referring, of course, to the Beis HaMikdash. But then the commentaries ask a simple question. Why would we thank Hashem for bringing us to the Beis HaMikdash before we thank Hashem for giving us Eretz Yisrael? It should be the other way around. First Hashem gave us the land of Eretz Yisrael, and only then later did Hashem give us the Beis HaMikdash, which of course was later built in Yerushalayim. But yet the Pasuk reverses the order. First, Vayivienu el hamokim hazeh, zeh Beis HaMikdash. And then Vayitin lanu es ha'oretz hazois, first the Beis HaMikdash, and then Eretz Yisrael. Why? The commentaries here point to a fascinating commentary, a fascinating note, written by Targum Yonason. Targum Yonason writes this in Chumash Shmos, right before the giving of the Torah, when Moshe Rabbeinu tells the Jews, in the name of Hashem, he tells them, Vo'eso eschem al kanfei neshorim, when I brought you out of Mitzrayim, I carried you on the wings of eagles. On these words, Vo'eso eschem al kanfei neshorim, the Targum Yonason says something wild. Targum Yonason says that the night before the Jewish people left Mitzrayim, of course, they were obligated to participate in the Korban Pesach. The first time they brought a Korban Pesach was the night before they left Mitzrayim. We are accustomed to thinking that this happened in Mitzrayim. After all, it was the next day that they left Mitzrayim. Says the Targum Yonason. That's not what happened. Instead, miraculously, on clouds, the Ribbono Shel Olam carried all the Jewish people from Mitzrayim to Eretz Yisrael, to the Mokim HaMikdash, to the place of the Beis HaMikdash, and there they slaughtered and sacrificed and participated and ate the very first Korban Pesach. When they were done, the clouds brought them back to Mitzrayim, right back to where they were beforehand. And the next day they left Mitzrayim, as the Torah tells us, with great miracles on the 15th day of Nisan. And so, as a hint for this, the Pasuk here reverses the order. When the Jew brings Bikurim, the Jew says, Vayivienu el hamokim hazeh. First the Ribbono Shel Olam brought us to this place, the Beis HaMikdash. And only then did he give us Eretz Yisrael. Because actually the Jews had been to the place of the Beis HaMikdash before the Ribbono Shel Olam had given them the land of Israel. The land of Israel, Eretz Yisrael, was only given to them 40 years after they formally left Mitzrayim. But the night before they left Mitzrayim, the Ribbono Shel Olam gave them one night in Eretz Yisrael, in the Beis HaMikdash, to offer up the Korban Pesach as a korban to Hashem, the first korban. While this is, of course, an incredibly miraculous and beautiful vort, let not the depth of it, let not the real significance of this be lost on us. You see, what the commentaries are saying is that when the Jews left Mitzrayim on the 15th day of Nisan, the one we celebrate every year on Pesach, it wasn't the first time the Jews left Mitzrayim. Actually, it was the second. The first time they left Mitzrayim was the night before, when the Ribbono Shel Olam carried them on clouds and took them to the Mokim HaMikdash, although the Beis HaMikdash wasn't built yet. But in order to offer up a Korban Pesach, you don't need an actual Beis HaMikdash, as is well known. You just need the place of the Mikdash, Mokim HaMikdash. The next day when they left Mitzrayim, it was the second time they left Mitzrayim. Because the first time Hashem had taken them out of Mitzrayim, He took them out to the place of the Beis HaMikdash and then brought them right back. But why? Why would Hashem do that? Why would Hashem take them out of Eretz Yisrael, take them all the way to the place of the Beis HaMikdash? Let them spend one night there and then only put them right back to where they were and force them to go through the whole process all over again, this time taking much, much longer, 40 plus years. If they were already out of Mitzrayim, and if they were already in the Mokem HaMikdash, why make them go back and start the whole process all over again? And the answer the commentaries give is simple and profound. You see, my friends, there's a tremendous irony about giving someone freedom. And that is, it's a contradiction in terms. If you give someone freedom, they're not free. If you hand them freedom on a silver platter and say, here you go, now just be yourself, I'm giving it to you, then the person is not free. The person is beholden to that which has given them the freedom. In order for a person to actually be free and liberated, the person has to choose freedom on their own. They have to choose it over and over again. They have to be ready to fight for it. And with Hashem's help, they will succeed. So yes, the Ribbono Shel Olam took them the night before Yetzias Mitzrayim and put them right in the place of the Beis HaMikdash, as if to show them, here's what freedom is all about. Here's where you'll end up. Please God, if you choose the path of being Hashem's chosen people. But then he put them right back in Mitzrayim and said, now I've shown you what it is, but you have to choose to go there on your own. You have to choose to go through all of the obstacles that are in your way and deal with every one of them, Amalek and 40 years in the desert and spies and Korach and whatever it is that the Jews went through. They had to choose to go through this and wrestle with every obstacle on their way, so that when they finally did get to the other end, it would truly be theirs and it would truly be owned. This is what we thank the Ribbono Shel Olam for when we bring the Bikurim. We say to Hashem, thank you for taking us out of Mitzrayim once. Thank you for taking us out of Mitzrayim twice. Thank you for showing us what freedom is. But thank you for empowering us to make the choice to be free on our own. Sometimes in life we find ourselves struggling with things which we feel we've already achieved. We feel like we've already graduated this. Why am I dealing with this again? I've already been through this once. Sometimes the Ribbono Shel Olam makes us deal with the same things again and again, because it's not enough to just be handed victory on a silver platter. In order for it to be real, and in order for it to last, one needs to be ready to conquer every inch of the way, to be ready to fight for it on their own, and to truly own it. Have a wonderful Shabbos.